Are you a Christian woman entrepreneur who's looking to increase their visibility and revenue in 2026? Well, sis, if that is you, today's stream is just for you. In today's topic, we're going to be talking about the most underrated, underutilized business wealth strategy that can really be making people hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in 2026 and beyond. And that is partnerships. Look, I know some of you are going to say, Belinda, God gave me this vision and I've been running with it and I want to see it grow. But anytime God gives us a vision, it's for more than just us. There's no vision that is just us. Even Jesus, his vision, his whole purpose when he came to the earth required 12 disciples because the vision was always more than him. So in today's live, we're going to be talking about partnerships. And I just want to say partnerships are so important. They're more important than algorithms, more important than funnels, more important than AI, especially as we move more and more into an AI world. People are looking for that human connection. They just want to talk with you. They want to get to know you. They want to collaborate with you. So in today's live, I'm going to be talking about 5 different types of partnerships. So I hope you have your pen and paper because this is a masterclass. This is not just me talking. This is you working and getting your business strategy ready for the rest of 2026. Okay, so let's jump in. The first thing to know is that wealthy people do not build alone. I want you to take a moment and really think about anyone that you know, whether personally or that you've seen online, that has a 6, 7, 8, 9 figure business, and tell me if they're building alone. Maybe they're the face, maybe they're the face of the brand, right? But are they truly building alone? Whatever vision they have, are they the only ones that's driving it? The answer is no. They are using these 5 strategies. Number 1 is collaborations. Collaborations. So, collaborations is anything that you're doing with someone who's of similar mind, has a similar target audience, and similar target market. And you want to be able to collaborate with them to increase both of your visibilities and both of your revenue. So, let me give you an example. Let's say that you are a singer, songwriter, and you have a colleague, a friend, or know of someone who is really good at marketing and branding. You could come together, collaborate to create music, and then split the revenue, right? Collaborations are anything that you do when you come together for a short period of time to work on a project that's mutually beneficial to both of you. It does not mean that you're dissolving your business or that you're merging businesses. No, you're coming together for a project that has a clear outcome and it uses both of your skills so you can both get wealth and visibility, right? Number 2 is podcast appearance. So this is a little different than collaboration because I really see collaboration as something that is both visibility and wealth. But if you tell about what you've gained, the wisdom, the insight, that's going to be something memorable and helpful for people and something that's going to bring them back to you and to your songs. So podcasts are something that you can be doing the rest of this year. Just go ahead and make your pitch. You can reach out to AI, to ChatGPT, and actually ask it to help you to create a podcast pitch specifically for a certain type of podcast. Number 3, affiliates. I don't know why more people aren't doing this. Again, we get in our little bubbles and we work in our businesses, but affiliate revenue is so important. So, some of you might not know affiliates are. Affiliates is anything that you have a specialized link for. That you either give to other people that if they market and sell your stuff, they get a portion of the proceeds of the money, of the revenue, or you might have it for yourself. Maybe you want to be, I don't think Canva does it anymore, but let's say like you love Canva like myself and you want to be a part of their influencer program. So you can tell the whole world about why Canva is amazing or why whatever the product that you absolutely love is amazing. You could join their program and asked to be an influencer and get an affiliate link. So when you tell people, whether online or DM or text message, once they click on the link and buy something, you get a portion of it. This helps visibility for both you and for the person who is creating the activity. So for me, I do challenges. I have experiences where people can work with me for 5 days or sometimes 90 days to get down to what they need to achieve to improve their business over the next 6 to 12 months, right? And so if someone is entering a challenge, I always give them the opportunity to be an affiliate. Why? Because them passing along the information to their friends, to their colleagues, to their neighbors is less marketing that I have to do as a business owner. And it brings in revenue that I probably wouldn't have gotten. And it gives them an opportunity to get part of their money back. So it's a win win for both parties. So think about it in your business. How can you increase affiliates? How can you provide affiliate opportunities? The fourth one. The fourth one is referrals. So we've talked about collaborations, podcast appearances, affiliates, now referrals. Now, a lot of times, again, we're in our own little entrepreneur bubble. We're thinking only about what we're doing and how we want to sell it and how we want to make money, and all that's important, right? But if we stop and think a little bit more about who we're trying to sell to, then we can think about that person as a whole person. Last night, we had our monthly PW, Position Women Encounter Night, our gathering night. And it was a bunch of Christian women creatives who got together, and we were talking and getting to know each other a little bit more and learning about what each one of us does. And at the end, the moderator for the evening was saying, okay, so the next time we all meet, this person is who does like wedding and event planning, and there's another person there that does like relationship coaching. Like, okay, we're going to have this person help us and that person help us. And then we have this other person who's an MC. They're going to MC our wedding event. So they're just planning out their wedding goals. But what is that? What's happening in real time? We're centering a person and a particular life circumstance that they have or a life event. They're wanting to go from single to married. And in that, we're thinking about all the different skills, all the different resources, all different companies that are needed to make that happen. So it's the same thing with your business. Whatever you do, think about the person you're trying to reach and where you could be reaching them throughout their life, different life events. If you're a wedding planner, that's very, straightforward, like you deal with when someone's getting married. But let's say you're a singer, right? You could be a singer for someone's wedding. You could be a singer, unfortunately, for someone's funeral. You could be a singer for any sort of event, right? If you're wanting to be hired to sing. And so think about the different life events of the people you're trying to reach, and then connect with people that are working more closely with them. If you are a singer and you have original songs, there's no reason why you shouldn't be connected to 50 different wedding or event planners in your local area. No reason. Because when that event planner gets to know you and love you, and they want to produce the best event possible for their client, right? So their client is in love with the event, and so that their client recommends them to other people, they're going to say, you know what? I have the perfect singer in mind. If you bring her on, I know that she can deliver for this event. What is that? That's a referral. So again, take a moment this week. Think about all the different ways that you can partner or refer or be a referred partner for someone and start to make those introductions. At the very least, people know that you're around, right? If you're reaching out to those 50 event planners, maybe only 13 respond, but all of them now know that you exist, right? And then you can get to meet and, schmooze a little bit with those event planners, let them know your rates, get to know them a little better, so that when the opportunity arises for them, they can have you top of mind. So number 4 is referrals. Number 5, strategic relationships. And this is something that, again, you will always hear me say, we all need. We absolutely need. We need coaching and we need community. You just heard me talk about the event that we had last night. And so I'm going to put a plug. I would love to have you join the Position Women community. If you're a Christian women creative, we meet once a month. So you can go ahead and click the link down below to join our community. We'd love to have you. But you need community. You need community. It's not an option anymore. Absolutely need people who are like mind. They don't have to have the same business, but like mind, like understanding, hopefully even like beliefs, in order to like core beliefs, in order to get to that next level. You need people who you can bounce ideas off of, people who understand the lingo, understand the language, understand where you're going, who can be that sounding board, people that can cheer you on and motivate you to continue going, because entrepreneurship can be hard. Entrepreneurship can be lonely. And so when you have a community of people that you're not fighting each other, you're really trying to all move forward, it makes the difference in your mind, in your emotions, in your push. Because when you hear that someone else has a win or a breakthrough, what does that do? That motivates you to keep going, maybe even reach out to them and be like, hey, what did you do? So you start to learn from them. So you need a community and a coach. A community is wonderful because you're all at the same level going forward. But a coach has been where you've been. They can tell you all the things they did wrong and why you shouldn't go down those paths. And they can see your blind spots and really help you get to next level. So in 2026, find a coach and find a community. And again, we are open for more wonderful women to join our community. And we'll tell you about the coaching opportunities that we have in the future later on. All right, so we just went through 5 different types of partnerships, but I know some of you out there are like, okay, that's great. How do I start to identify the right partners? Because maybe, Belinda, going back to the example that I said before, maybe there are 13 wedding or event planners that get back to me, but 2 of them seem like they might be hard to deal with. So how to identify the right partners? Well, there's a couple different things. When you're thinking about the partners and the community, the most important thing you can think about is alignment. That is top. More than anything else, alignment. Are we all going in the same direction? Do we all have the same understanding of what this should be and should look like? Do we have similar or related skills that are going to help us get to the next level? Are we trying to reach the same target market or the same target audience? Do we have the same business goals? Maybe you're trying to make $1 million in a year, but the wedding event planner is very comfortable with $200,000. I'm not saying that you can't collaborate, but the motivation is different. The zeal, the zest is different, right? So how aligned are you on where you want to go? This takes me back to school days, and maybe some of you guys can relate. If you've ever been in a group project and you have the one person in the group project's like, I want an A. I want an A on this project. And the other person is like, I'm good with a C. C is passing. C sounds good. That's a misalignment, right? That causes tension because one wants to go forward, the other one is okay, going a little slower. So when you're looking at alignment, again, skills, abilities, but also motivations and business goals. The second one is mentality. This is really thinking a little bit more about the person overall. Are they a person that's trustworthy? We can always think about the people who are more on extremes, the people who are not trustworthy at all, or the people that always came through. So, are they a person that does what they say they're going to do in the time they say they're going to do it? What is their mindset like? If you're a Christian entrepreneur, now, I'm a little different. I know not everyone's gonna agree with this, but as a Christian entrepreneur, I'm very okay working with non-Christians. I know that's not everyone's thing. I'm very okay with that. But I do wanna know that they have similar levels of values, though we might differ on our beliefs about Christ, similar values in terms of, like, work ethic and other things like that. Are they kind to people? Are they just trying to make money and, throw people under the bus along the way, right? So we have to have some level of similar mentality there. Skills. The last thing to think about with partnerships and communities are the skills. You want skills that are gonna be complementary, and this is gonna be very it's gonna differ, excuse me, based upon the type of thing that you're trying to achieve. But you always wanna take an inventory of what are the different skill assets that are available for this collaboration, and then maybe see where you're lacking and who else you can bring in to be a part of that collaboration. Now, the last thing is coaching. So I just talked about how to identify the right partners. Now let's talk briefly about how to identify the right coach, because I have been around this entrepreneurship game for a while, for 6 years, and there are great coaches out there and there are not so great coaches out there. Part of it is also going to come down to the expectation of the person seeking coaching. So there's two things that I've seen in my 6 years in which I've always had a coach. I've had different coaches, and been in several different communities. Two issues that are reoccurring regardless of what the person is trying to achieve in the community. One, we have to go in knowing that coaches are specialized. They do not know everything about everything in business. So when you are seeking a coach, the more you have an understanding of yourself and your business, the better you'll be satisfied with the coach, right? So in this season, I have a coach that is coaching me on media. He's not a sales coach, although he has an understanding of sales because he's an entrepreneur, right? He's not a stage coach, although he's been on stages, but he is a media coach. And so that helps me not be frustrated because I know that I am there to learn media. There's some people that might come in and want, have questions about life and dealing with certain things. They're not in his scope and they can sometimes be frustrated, right? So it's good to know what is the skill of the coach. I am a business strategist. I see all aspects of the business. Yes, I have an understanding of scales. Yes, I have an understanding of media, and I'm growing in all those things. But I am a strategist. I see end to beginning. So that is why people come to me. How can I get this business off the ground? How can I get to next level? Who are the type of people that I can get to connect with, right? In this season, you might need someone who is completely dedicated to sales. Your strategy is good. That might mean finding someone who is superior in sales, right? So having a good understanding of the skill needed makes everything better for you and the coach and the community overall. Also thinking about their level of experience, and there's going to be some trade-offs here when you're looking for a coach. You can have a coach who is making 8, 9, 10 figures a year. Realize that that coach has a lot of experience, but you're probably not gonna get as much of their one-on-one time or group coaching time. They're probably gonna have other people facilitating because they're more focused on getting the business to the next level, right? Whereas if a coach who has been where you are recently in the last 2, 3, 4 years, they're probably a little closer to the business. So understanding their experience, but also the trade-offs with that. The other thing that I would say is knowing and having an understanding of their presence and their personality. So I always go back to Elijah. I've just been in the season of studying Elijah. Elisha, I believe one of the reasons why Elisha did so well and honing his craft in the prophetic and getting to that next level of a double portion was because he understood why he was there. I always joke that Elijah really needed therapy. Like, there's a lot of things that he went through, and he was a little rough. Um, but Elisha knew he wasn't there to learn emotional regulation skills. He wasn't there to learn social skills because Elijah was very independent. He was there to learn how to be a prophet. When you're working with a coach, and the reason why I say this, people are in different stages of their life of understanding themselves, having just that greater awareness of themselves and where they need to grow and where they need to improve. And when you're working with a coach, even more than a community, just know that the coach will rub off on you. The coach will. So if you don't have a strong sense of self and there's something that you see in your coach that you don't like, um, you're gonna have to be really mindful about how to navigate that. I'm not saying to not go with the coach because they could be really strong in an area that you need to improve in. But just know that they are going to be an influence in your life, right? And so that means having safeguards if there's something negative there. I'm not saying something harmful, but maybe they don't use as many pleas as you like. So maybe they're just a little bit more rough, like Elijah. But the other thing is that their personality is going to rub off on you. And so their likes might become your likes because you're literally a mentee for them. And so study the coaches a little bit more before you invest, right? Is he or she going where you want to go? Do they dress like how you'd want to dress? Do they speak in the way you'd want to speak? Do they present themselves in the way you'd want to present themselves? Because this is all what they're going to be teaching you, not just the skills, but the essence. And that's something people don't really think about. But overall, to get to your next level in 2026 and beyond, you need to be partnering, partnering with several different types. And so let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what you're going to work on, which of the five, the collaborations, the podcast appearances, the affiliates, the referrals, or the strategic relationships like coaching and community, what you're planning to work on so that you can get to your next level in 2026. All right, I'm going to pray and close this out. Dear Heavenly Father, I thank you so much for my sister that's listening. I bless her business, God. The idea that you alone have given her, God. I thank you for helping her to recognize where she can improve in her business through partnerships to get to that next level. Lord, I ask that you would move on her heart, that there wouldn't be delay, but truly she would move in line with you and know that the vision you gave her was not just for her alone, but it was to help others, it was to partner with others, it was to be beneficial to the target market that she has been assigned to, God. I thank you for just giving her a wealth of understanding and giving her influence and favor with those that she reaches out to so that she can make the strategic relationships for 2026. I bless her in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, ladies, thank you so much. I love that. I'm seeing that in the chat podcast. Love that. Love it. Yeah, comment down below. If you're watching this on the replay, comment down below. I'd love to come back and cheer you on. All right, take care. Bye.